actually caps off a 2-year investigation into these PBMs, these pharmacy benefit managers. A source at the FTC tells me that this was a long time coming. It's worth it to just name them again. It's CVS's Caremark, Cigna's Express Scripts, and UnitedHealth's Optum RX. They essentially serve as the middlemen, right? Negotiating rebates on behalf of insurers with these prescription drug companies. Now, this particular case focuses in on insulin and insulin pricing. The FTC here is essentially alleging that these companies have favored higher priced insulin products because that in turn would result in higher rebates and higher fees for these companies. Now, Bloomberg Television actually had the chance to sit down with an official from the FTC within an hour of this crossing the terminal. I want you to take a listen here to how the director of the FTC's Office of Public Affairs, Douglas Farrar, kind of outlined the agency's plan with us earlier here today.
One effect we contend is that they're basically just forcing the price of drugs up through a kind of reverse polarizing competition from being a good force in the market to a bad one. So on behalf of patients in particular, we filed this lawsuit to try to ensure that there's more competitive balance in this marketplace.
Now, as you mentioned, the FTC did release this report that found that these 3 PBMs have a huge portion of the market share. 80% of prescriptions passed through them last year. Now, for the PBMs part, they have all responded to this lawsuit. They are defending their practices. They're saying that without them, consumers would just have to go straight to the prescription drug companies and that instead they would be dictating their prices. I actually want to just quickly read from the Cigna spokesperson. They emailed a statement to Bloomberg News calling this a troubling pattern from the FTC of unsubstantiated and ideologically driven attacks. We should note that Cigna actually filed a lawsuit against the FTC earlier this week, citing defamation.
Well, and it's interesting, and when we heard from Douglas Farrar there, this notion that he's talking about drugs plural. They're specifically focusing on insulin with this action, but is it an action, if they are victorious, that could apply to other drugs that flow through these companies as well?
Exactly. So it's notable here that this could actually serve kind of as a precedent as the FTC does try to rein in potentially other drug prices. It's also notable that they didn't go after the drug makers, but the FTC did leave open the door that there could be further action down the line when it comes to some of those big drug makers that we are watching, like Eli Lilly, for example. And something that we've been talking a lot about is how this is also a political issue for both sides of the aisle. Prescription drug prices and insulin have come up on the campaign trail, and both the former Trump administration and the current Biden administration have taken actions in bids to try to lower costs.